In this Craigslist video, we're going to discuss the mechanics of writing and then posting a great Craigslist ad. So the first thing you're going to want to do is log into your account and go to the Help section. Then you're going to choose Craigslist from the advertising sources, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom to the Craigslist ad wizard. You then click Start a New Ad, and the first thing it asks you is what tools you want to include in this ad. I would recommend that you include all of them. What this is going to do is it's going to create all three capture tools, the web, the text, and the phone for you. And then it's going to create a new featured property on your site with these property details all in one shot. So then you click Next, and it's going to ask you to label the gateway or the ad. And so we're going to label it according to where this ad is going up, Craigslist. And then I typically want to put the property as well, just so I know when this lead comes in, I know where this lead is coming from. It's going to be coming from the Craigslist ad about this property address. Then I want to put in the full address details, and there's a particular context here that you're going to want to use, or syntax, not context, so that it will show up correctly on the ad. And in my case, I'm just putting in the property detail. And we're going to put beds, baths, square footage, and the price of the property. Simple details. The marker color I'm going to leave as red, but you could, and that's again where it's going to show up on the featured property map on your site. I'm then going to write up a quick description of the property. Now, for the sake of time, I've already written a description of the property. I'm just going to paste it in there. And then I can go in and put ultimately what company is offering the property, especially if it's not my own. In this case, we're offering it. You can put in a link to additional information about this property so that when the customer selects the featured property from the map, they can have a place to go for more information. And here you could put a link to a Zillow profile or an MLS cut sheet or even a single property website if you've created one for this property. I'm going to elect not to put a link in here for now. And then the final thing that it's asking for is searchable keywords. Now, these are keywords that show up on the bottom of your Craigslist ad, and effectively they make your ad very searchable. In other words, I'm going to put in cities, subdivisions, types of property, and the reason is I want when someone searches for anything on Craigslist, I want them to find me. I want them to find my ad. So I'm going to put a few things in here, but ultimately the more you can put in, the better. These will append to the bottom of your ad, and again, the more terms that people might find you with, the better. So I'm going to put a few cities that are in my local area. I'm going to put in condo, townhouse, single family, and things like that. And I'm going to put it, click Next. And this next screen will allow me to check where it's showing up on the map. In my case, the pin is exactly where it should be. But if you're in a newer development, sometimes the pin doesn't locate correctly, so you have to drag the map around and manually put the pin where it should be. Then click Next again. Now for this, I'm going to add some photographs of this property. Now, because the featured property will come up, I want to upload the front of the home first, but then I'm going to select the rest of the property, the photos that I have for this property, and I'm going to allow them to upload quickly, and then click Next again. And there you go. I have my ad. I have my Craigslist ad. So now it's time to go ahead and copy this text. So I click on this field, and then I right click and go to copy. Now I have this text saved. Now it's time to go post it on Craigslist. So what you'll want to do is open up another tab. So there you go, and then you'll click Post to Classifieds in the upper left hand corner. Then you'll select Housing Offered and Real Estate by Broker. Now this next screen is going to look scary, but it's really not. They're trying to give you some posting guidelines. They don't want you to spam the section and only include links to your services or to your website. You'll be fine as long as you post an actual home for sale and you follow our general guidelines. You're adding value to the site by having your listings on here. Now we're going to go right to the posting body. We're going to click on it, right click, and go to paste. And it has all of the text that we just created. So half the work is done. Now we just have to put in some additional details. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to put in my zip code for this property. That's a required field. Then I'm going to put in the square feet. I'm going to not put in the price. Instead, I'm going to put $1. Now the reason for that is when someone searches for a price range, I want my property to potentially still come up, but I don't want to include the price because I want to give the customer a reason why they should continue on to my site. I'm going to select bedrooms and baths. Of course, this is a house, and it has an attached garage. I'm then going to scroll down, and I'm going to uncheck this box next to Show Maps, Show on Maps. And you'll notice that there's two things that I don't include in this ad: the address and the price. And that's, again, those are probably the most important pieces of information, and I want my customer to go to my capture tools if they want those pieces of information. Now this is one of the most important components of the ad, and this is the headline. This is one of the only ways that you have to stand out from the crowd. Now what we typically do with this headline is we want to highlight a unique feature of this property, and we really want it to stand out from the crowd. So I like to take, in this case, this property has a beautiful pool in the backyard. So I'm going to write something that may perhaps a little bit outrageous, but again, the idea is I want it to stand out. So I'm going to put, "You won't find a pool home for this price ever in this area." Now I'm alluding to the price without actually giving it, so I'm going to pique that curiosity and hopefully drive the customer to one of my capture tools. Go ahead and scroll down, click Continue. Now the next thing it's going to ask you to do is upload your images. Again, you're going to use the same images that you uploaded before for your featured property. Now you're uploading it to Craigslist. And once they all upload, you're going to have the choice of what to use as your featured image, or the thumbnail that comes up when a customer's browsing Craigslist. Now, I would almost never use the front of the property for my featured image here. And the reason is everybody uses the front of the property for their featured image. And so yours is just going to blend in if that's what you use. Instead, I like to use outdoor spaces, or if I can match it with the headline, that's even better. Now, sometimes the properties that you're using don't have great photos. Maybe the property isn't outstanding. And so in those cases, I'll even use a local landmark or a park or a view, anything that would stand out and yet highlight desirable traits about this property. For this one, I'm going to use the pool property, so I'm going to drag it up to the featured image slot. You see there's a little yellow background. And then I'm going to click Done with Images. It gives me an opportunity to review my ad, what it looks like. Looks good. And then I'm going to click Publish. And my ad's posted. Didn't cost me anything. It took me 5 minutes to put up. And the last step, particularly if this is one of your first ads, is I want you to take this link here. I want you to copy it for your coach. And I want you to email it to support@guerrillarealty.com. That way we can review your ad. We can give you valuable feedback. We've been doing advertising on Craigslist for a long time. And it's not uncommon for an agent to struggle with their first couple of postings, at least in terms of getting great response from the customer. Remember, we want to get 1 or 2 leads for every ad that we post, and we can certainly help you do that. I'm going to go locate my newly created gateways just to make sure they're all there. I'm going to click Settings, Lead Gateways, and look, I have created gateways. There's not actually 2 created for each one. This was from an earlier posting as well. So you'll notice I have the web, the phone, and the text gateway all created. Now, if you have any questions or if you need anything, even if it's brainstorming for a headline or for a thumbnail for a particular property, please don't hesitate to call us. And you can also email us at support@guerrillarealty.com, or you can access our live chat in the lower right-hand corner of your account. Thanks a lot.